Hello, you're welcome to another video on the Ugamadi Football channel. And it's nice to have you here this nice, bit slightly chilly Sunday morning. It's my sort of post reaction to, rather my reaction to the Arsenal, Chelsea vs Arsenal game that was played yesterday, and I gave my post match review of the game. But there's something important that I missed out, something really, really important, and I wonder how I missed that out. That was very instrumental to, you know, Chelsea dropping points. It does feel like a loss, you know. Chelsea fans out there like myself, this game felt like a loss. There was a draw, and despite the fact that going into the game, Arsenal was the side that was supposedly on better form, after beating Man City, and they're seen as the real title rivals, for the real title rivals with respect to Manchester City, But the way the game started, the way the team played, everyone played well. And Mauricio Pochettino, I think he got his tactics spot on for the most part. So my hands up, I give credit when credit is due. But my, where do I start with this guy? This guy. I'm sure if you watch the game, you know who I'm talking about. Please forgive me if this seems like a rant. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out to be that way. Before I go on, please smash the like button and do subscribe to this channel. So let's dive into it. Now, the guy I'm talking about is none other than Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez robbed Chelsea. He robbed the team. He robbed the team. And we've been seeing signs of this in different games. Even the Carabao Cup game against Brighton, we saw signs. In fact, I can't remember any game since he signed for Chelsea where he hasn't shown these signs. Not so much about his shot stopping or the saves he's unable to make, but what he decides to do when he has the ball at his feet. One, he's too slow, in my opinion. He's too slow in getting the ball out. He's too slow to get the ball out of his feet to pass it into his defenders. And sometimes he just makes the wrong decision. What happens when you have the ball to feet with this culture of high pressing, strikers press, midfielders press, you sort of choke up the midfield and make it difficult for your defenders to play out. When you're a goalkeeper with this whole playing out from the back business, which I feel sometimes people take too far, as I think Robert Sanchez did yesterday, when you have the ball at your feet and you take too long, before you know it, you're under immense pressure and you then make mistakes. Raya made a similar mistake yesterday, and Palmer should have punished him, should have buried the chance. That should have been like second nature. But this is not blaming Palmer because he had a fantastic game as well. The way he controlled the ball, the goal he scored, and all that. So the penalties he converted. So fantastic from him, not blaming him. But Sanchez, when you're on the ball, the strikers are going to press up high. You don't waste time on the ball. When you waste time on the ball, you make mistakes. Now, how did that goal happen? Because Arsenal were out of that game. They were out of the game. We were out of the game. I know I say some of Pochettino's in-match tactics or in-game management, were a bit questionable. Because for me, the way I felt that game was, I felt that he should have mirrored what was going on. If he felt that Modric was becoming tired, you should have brought someone else on to match, what Modric had been doing. Because with the threat of Modric's pace, it would be foolhardy for any defender to push up really high. So that was affecting, the way Arsenal chose to play. So Sanchez, Cole passed the ball back to Sanchez and then made the right run, towards, I would say, what I would call my right, but I think, just to one side of the 18-yard box, There was enough space, the right spot for him to go to, so Sanchez could have immediately passed the ball to him, and then Colwell would either put the ball forward or pass it into someone. But Sanchez did the opposite. He passed the ball straight into midfield. And now, why that even becomes more sort of criminal is because he could see the entire field. When you're a goalkeeper, I'm sure that's part of the reasons why, people go into this playing out from the back business, because the goalkeeper has clearer vision of the entire pitch. He can see who's marked, who's free, who's making a darting run, in behind the opposition's defense, so he could play a long pass. So Robert Sanchez could see everyone that was free and decided to pass it to the one place he shouldn't have, right to, you know, Rice's feet. So Rice's feet. And then and he took he took his time to get back to the goalpost. He took his time. He wasn't in no hurry. He took his time to get back to the goalpost. And then once you give Arsenal, or any team rather, a look in, once you give them that scent of blood to say, okay, they now have the goal, they have what they're chasing. Because at 80 minutes, you're a team chasing a 2-goal deficit. Probably at best, you get one goal back and then the game is over. But you give them the opportunity with 14 minutes to go, having a goal, to get a goal back, and now game on. Their heads high, chest puffed up, and you're putting your team under pressure that they didn't have to be. And this has been a recurring theme. This is not just something that happened yesterday. It's been happening game after game after game. He has the ball to feet and he wastes time on the ball to play the ball out. And I think probably this is why Zebi relegated him to the bench, and he became second choice at Brighton. And that's why I think the Zebi didn't really mind him leaving, because I think he's not too bad when it comes to shot stopping, making saves. He's not too bad, although he does concede. Then again, he does concede some weird goals, some weirdly cheap goals. But this playing out of the back business, if this is the route Chelsea wants to go, Sanchez, I don't think, is the guy for that role, because he kills time on the ball, and then he also passes dangerous passes to his defenders, and like yesterday, sometimes gives the ball away to the opposition. So this is just madness, absolute madness, absolute madness. Yesterday was just so sad for players like Mudrik. Can you imagine to have scored the second goal where everyone would have seen, oh, nice, he contributed to Chelsea getting a win against a big six side. That would have upped his morale, and the game as well. The result, that a win would have been a major boost to Chelsea's confidence, having defeated Arsenal, who everyone sees as the team to dethrone Man City this season. Though I doubt that. But so Sanchez, this one is all on you. Yesterday, I slightly blamed Pochettino. I do apologize, but I feel his in-game management still has a lot to be desired, and yesterday was no different. Because I felt he should have still mirrored what he had, on the what he had in the first half, and parts of the second half. You should have mirrored that with his substitution. You would have brought Madueke on, and then possibly brought Matson on. This is the type of game that you would have put Matson on to shut down a particular flank. So that's the issue when I have with the issue I have with Matson, with using Matson. Matson can be a player to play initially as a left back, or initially as a left back, or you play him as in that left wing to help shut down the entire left side of the pitch. So he shuts down. So when you have a left back behind him and you have him as a left winger, in games like yesterday's game where you're looking to shut out the opposition, So, but I digress. That's a topic for another day. But for today, it's all about Robert Sanchez, and he clearly robbed Chelsea of a win. People might be saying that's too harsh. It's a team game. And Malagusto should have watched this man. And Malagusto lost the run of Trossard in behind him, and then Trossard got the tapping for the equalizer. But what I would say is, if Sanchez hadn't made that blunder, then at most what Arsenal would have got would have been a goal back, and that would have been 2-1, and that's how the match would have ended. Or it would have ended 2-0, because once they were unable to if they had not been able to score that goal, if he hadn't given them that goal on a platter, what would have happened would have been they trudged out, work out, and before you know, confidence drops, morale drops, and the game ends 2-0. But he gave Arsenal sort of a boost of confidence that they needed. Give them a boost of confidence that they needed. So Sanchez, I'll say this. This is my verdict. I'm not saying sell him at the moment. But what I'm saying is, if the club, if Pochettino wants to play this playing out from the back business, then Robert Sanchez isn't the person, isn't the guy for the job, because of the way football is played in the Premier League at present. Everyone wants to press high. Everyone wants to play high octane football. So if as a goalkeeper you waste so much time on the ball, then you'll be in trouble. And you're coming up against Brentford in the next game, and that will be sort of we face the same sort of threat in terms of being pressed in Buemo and the likes, Kevin Schade and all those guys at Brentford. You face the same challenge as well. So I think maybe this is an opportunity, or the Brentford game is an opportunity to give Petrovic a shot. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he's sort of different. Let's see what if it's indeed all he's been cracked up to be. Because he was signed from the MLS, and everyone has been sort of raving about the player. I think Brad Friedel said he's a player that once he gets to start, he would never let go of that starting role. So maybe that's just talk, an American trying to hype up the American football league, as they call it, soccer. Maybe that's just it, or maybe he's indeed the real deal. So I think Brentford game, Pochettino should give Petrovic the opportunity, and let's see what he does. So at this point, I'm coming to the end of today's video, and I'll be so keep an eye out for my video on the Brentford Chelsea game, my preview. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And then if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel and do hit the like button. And I'll see you yet again on yet another video. Bye-bye.